When we think of Winston Churchill, we think of the great Prime Minister, the great leader, the greatest orator of politics, and somebody who did wonderful things in leadership for Great Britain. We don't remember the schoolboy Winston Churchill who failed and had to repeat a year. We don't remember Gallipoli, his disastrous invasion of Turkey during the First World War, or the many times that Churchill was overcome by depression and nearly gave up. No, we remember his success. We remember his speeches saturated with courage and power that seemed to lift a nation. We remember the hope that his words inspired. We don't remember his failures. We remember his success. But they say, indeed they say, that Churchill failed everything until he became Prime Minister during World War II. In fact, some say it was the only thing he got right in his life. After all those failures, after all those disasters, and Gallipoli was a real disaster, why didn't Churchill give up? What kept Winston Churchill going through the so many failures and so many discouragements? What made him persevere to become, as he was voted, the greatest British person who ever lived? I think that was in 2003. What led him to keep going? Just before Exodus chapter 6, Moses has failed to convince Pharaoh. Indeed, Moses has failed to convince his own people that he has what it takes to get them out of Egypt. He has tried reluctantly to follow God's calling on his life. God called him. God told him, go to Pharaoh, go and lead my people out of Egypt. Moses told God, you've got the wrong man, Lord. I can't do this. First of all, I'm not very good at speaking. And secondly, they're not going to listen to me. Moses told God this. He told God this, but God didn't listen. God said, go, I will be with you. Moses knew that it wouldn't work. And so now, after he's tried and failed, he says to the Lord, you know, the people of Israel don't believe in me. How am I possibly going to get Pharaoh to be convinced that you have sent me? Moses could have given up at this point. The failure and the catalogue of problems that had happened in his life could have led him to the conclusion that, well, I'll draw a line under that one and I'll just go back and be with my father-in-law in the place where everything was calm in the wilderness. I'll just go back and just ignore all of this. Moses could have just given up at this point. After all, he'd given it a try, it hadn't worked. He told the Lord that he was the wrong person for this job, that he wasn't a good speaker. But what happens at this point is something very significant. Moses refuses to give up. Why? Well, God tells him, I have appeared to you, but I also appeared to your predecessors, Abraham. I told Abraham, I am going to give you a home. I'm going to give you a place where you won't be foreigners, where you won't be strangers wandering the earth. I'm going to give you a home, and I'm going to keep my promise. And I'm going to make you, Abraham, into a great people. And Moses remembered all of these promises. And as God relayed the history of what he had done in the past, when Moses remembered that this God who spoke to him was the same God who had spoken to his great-great-great-grandfathers, something must have given him belief that this God will keep his promises. Something must have given Moses a thread of hope to keep going, not to give up. History is littered with people who do give up. History is full of people whom God calls, whom God asks to do something, but whether through failures or difficulties or obstructions or challenges, they stop. They don't keep going. They don't continue on the path that God has outlined for them. If Moses had stopped at this point, if Moses had gone back to his comfort zone, we wouldn't know his name, and it is likely God would have called up somebody else to do this work. God doesn't depend on us to do it, but in his grace, in his mercy, he involves even people who can't speak properly to do something wonderful, like speaking to the Pharaoh of Egypt. God isn't calling Moses because he needs Moses. It's God's grace, it's God's mercy that he involves us in his master plan. But Moses could have given up. Moses could have stopped. But Moses didn't let his failure define him. He didn't let his failure be his last and finished word on his life. God made a promise, and Moses decided that he would trust that promise above and beyond his own inadequacies. He decided that whatever was wrong with his abilities, if God has promised to do something, God is able to do it. Of course, God doesn't give Moses all the signs that he's going to. We're going to see great miracles as we go through Exodus, remarkable things that God did. But at this point, Moses doesn't have all that to go on. Moses doesn't know all of that. At this point, all Moses has is the promise that God has made and his decision to trust, to have faith, even though the promise has not yet been fulfilled. Moses decides he's going to keep going because this God who has made this promise must be reliable. What do we know about the promises God has made to us? Are we following a path that we feel God has asked us to follow? Is there something that we feel deep in our hearts that we should be doing with our lives? A calling that God has placed on us? Maybe we resist that calling because we're conscious of our own inadequacies. Moses tried. Maybe we have tried to follow that calling, but something has gone wrong. We've met opposition. We've failed. And we've decided we're not going to keep going with the path that we believed God was leading us upon. In our world, those who have no failures seem to get on. In fact, when people become politicians, groups of people, before they get key government posts, come to visit them to check if there's any skeletons in their closet, to ensure that there's nothing that might cause a scandal in the media. If you don't make a failure in your life, you're not going to be a good leader. If you don't mess something up on your journey, it means you never took any risks. It means you never really tried to do anything because you were so frightened that you might fail. The fear of failure, the fear of having a blemish on our CVs, the fear of not doing something quite right can paralyse us and can prevent us from reaching our destiny. Of course, many of those in leadership today are such people. People who've avoided any conflict, people who've avoided any problems, who've skirted clear of any possible failures and have gradually navigated their way to the top. But if you want to be a good leader, a leader who's willing to carry the can when things go wrong, a leader who's willing to stick their neck out when you need to, then that strategy of avoiding failure won't help you. When you meet a challenge as a leader, you will follow the same pattern. You will avoid the dangerous or the controversial in order to save your own neck. Yes, you might stay in leadership, but you won't be remembered in history. Those who are remembered in history are those who do something that is right, who do the right thing even when it's difficult. Those people, like Churchill, don't allow failure to paralyse them or the fear of failure. I'm not saying we should look to do things without success. Of course we shouldn't. We should try our best to do everything right. But if fear of failure prevents us from even beginning the journey, we won't get very far. If you look back in your own life, the failures don't need to define you. They can be the beginning. They can be the lesson that you needed to learn to make progress. Winston Churchill made a catalogue of failures. Moses made a catalogue of failures. I can tell you that I have made some corking failures in my life. I can tell you I was at Cliff College. I was on a mission. I'd just begun Bible college. I'd just begun the journey into ministry. And on the mission, we'd gone to the south coast of England and we'd got to do all sorts of things. And I was crippled by doubt. I couldn't possibly do it. I was crippled by all sorts of problems in my personal life. And I ran away from the mission. I nearly got to Brighton, and that was quite a long way away. And as I was on the way to Brighton, something hit me. I just thought, no, I've got to go back. And so I hitchhiked back to Brighton, and I got back to the Cliff College mission before anybody noticed that I'd left. I won't tell you that the rest of the mission was a glorious success. In fact, a few days later, I actually ran away from the mission for good. Still, if I allow that failure to have stopped me continuing my studies, if I'd have given up at that point in my first year of training, I wouldn't be here today. No, I've learned from that. I've learned not to worry about what I can't do, not to allow my fears to orchestrate my life. Fear is not our God. The Lord Jesus Christ is our God. And we needn't fear about not being successful. We need not fear if things go wrong. We need not fear if we make a mistake. All we need to do is be faithful to the calling, to the path that God has put our feet upon. Don't worry about your CV. Don't worry about taking risks. If it's the right thing to do, do it. Let God take care of your reputation. Let God take care of whether you success or fail. Do the right thing. Honour God, and you will see the fruit. And more importantly, don't give up when things go wrong. Don't give up when things are difficult. Don't look at your own inadequacies. Look at the God who called Abraham, a man who was 100 and he had a child. That's not very common, is it? But God is the one who can do anything. Think about the power of God. Moses couldn't speak, and God took him into the palaces of the day to speak to the leaders of the day. Don't think about yourself. Think about what God is asking you to do, to the promises God has made, and never, never give up.